Okay, ladies and gentlemen of Algebra 1, we're looking at last section of Chapter 2, Section 2.8. It's the idea of undoing operations. Okay, so our key vocab word is to know what the opposite operations are of each one. All right, so you've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You got to know what the opposite of each one is. That's going to help us out. Okay, so what's going to happen here is they're going to give us the algebraic expression of like a number trick, okay? And they're going to say this represents number trick where we started with x, did all these operations to it, and we ended up with the final number of 11. So how did we get, what was our original number, is what they'll want to know. Okay, so we're going to write out I'm going to write out the steps of the number trick to start off. So we started off with x, and then we subtracted 4. And then it looks like they multiplied by 2. And then added 3. Divide by 5. And then add 6. Okay, because they started with x, subtract 4, multiply by 2, add 3, and all of this was divided by 5, and then they added 6, and they ended up with 11. Okay, so what we're going to do here is with undoing operations, one way we can do this is we can write out all these steps. Then we start here at 11 and we do the opposite for each one. So we're going to start with 11 and then we're going to subtract 6. Okay, and if we do that, and then we're going to multiply by 5. Multiply. We're going to subtract 3. And then we're going to divide 2 and add 4, and we get our answer. All right, so we started here. We're just working our way back up. So when we do that, we got 6. 11 minus 6 gives us 5. We divide by 5, or multiply by 5. That gives us 25. Subtract 3 gives us 22. Divide by 2 gives us 11. We add 14, or add 4, and that gives us 15. So we started off with 15. Okay, so if you want to, you can restart with this, go back through it. You know, that we get, we go through there, we get our final answer. Okay, so that's just, an easy way to do this. You could type this into your calculator and just do these steps and work your way backwards through that way. Okay, I'm going to show you a different way to do this, using some, algebraic sequence and stuff. But if this, this works for you, go ahead. I know we spent a lot of time with number tricks, so that could be the easy way, to work through this. Okay. Now the next example, example 2 here, it gives us the same type of problem. Now we can do this, I like to call this doing this algebraically, or looking very nerdish. All right, and we're going to write out this whole problem like this, and that gives us 15. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to think of it as the same way of our number trick, but now we're going to just use, the operations that we got, and we're going to write it out algebraically. Okay, so we started with x, added 3, multiplied by a negative 2, because we got this negative here, and added in 18, then divided by 6 were all the steps that we took. Okay, so I'm going to show you to undo this. The first thing we're going to undo is we're going to multiply by 6 on each side. So I'm going to take this whole thing and times it by 6. Okay, when we do that, we get an answer of 18 minus 2 times x plus 3 is equal to 90. Okay. All right. And then we're going to, the next thing they did was they added 18, so we're going to subtract 18 from each side. and that's going to give us negative 2 times x plus 3 is equal to, this gives us 72. So now, yep, 72. And now we're going to divide by negative 2. Okay, and we get over here on the left we got x plus 3, and on the right 72 divided by negative 2 gives us negative 36, and then we're going to subtract 3 from each side, so we got x is equal to negative 39, because when you start with a negative 36 and you go back farther 3, that gives us negative 39. Okay, so that's what we end up with as our final answer. Is we start off with negative 39. All right, so this looks very nerdy, looks, a way that I would do this problem, but if you want to do it the way that we did the first problem, go for it. Okay, write out all the operations that you started off with, and then just undo them, and you can undo them on the calculator. Okay, go ahead and do that. Your book does it both ways. Eventually, I think I'd like us to work to doing it this way, but I know that's a process, so I don't expect all of us to be able to do it that way right away, but that's what we got. Okay, so here is your try on your own problem. These instructions, make sure you write them out in a mathematical expression like we have done up on the board, and then solve it for the original value that we're trying to obtain at the start. All right, so make sure if you have any other questions that you let me know, and you have a good day.